Hi guys, welcome to our first review of Race Sim Studio content. This is the Formula Hybrid 2019 for Assetto Corsa. This video, as you probably realized, is going to be commented in English. There will be also a Portuguese language version of this video for our Spanish, Portuguese, Brazilian and other spoken countries with that speak Portuguese language included. Anyway, this is, as I mentioned in the start of the video, our first review of Race Sim Studio content. We already have we had also access during last year to the 2017 and the 2018 Formula Hybrid cars and other content from Race Sim Studio, although not all the content they have available. But we received it on a date basically mentioning about the Formula Hybrid cars. We received it on a date, or we had access to it on a date that it didn't make sense anymore because it was too late for that to publish reviews. Anyway, maybe we will address that in a more global content review about Race Sim Studio in the near future, maybe. Anyway, the Formula Hybrid 2019 car for Assetto Corsa. What a great content, just like all content from Race Sim Studio. What a great content this is. Car was developed from scratch by the Race Sim Studio technical team, and they did work thoroughly to make this car according to the 2019 regulations of the specific real car or real competition that this car simulates. For questions of respect and others, I will not mention the name of the championship, but I believe that I don't need to, because you all know which one it is. Anyway, the car was developed to be according to the 2019 regulations. It is a totally brand new car, as mentioned by the Race Sim Studio team and by us in this video, and it was worked in terms of the model, which is new. The engine sounds were improved and the physics were upgraded to match the 2019 regulations. So when I mention the engine sound and the physics upgraded, it is comparing with the previous years of the Formula Hybrid car delivered by Race Sim Studio. So as you can see, we are at Monza, official track in the Assetto Corsa Sim, and we also drove this car in two other tracks, Red Bull Ring and Silverstone, also in the official versions of these tracks in the Assetto Corsa Sim. We decided then to show you the review just focused on our testing at Monza. We tested with 3 different tire mixtures. We wanted to see the car, the handling of the car, the performance of the car with all these 3 tire mixtures. We wanted to see the wear in the tire. We wanted to see everything thoroughly, always testing alone on track. Then in the final part of this video, you will have a race against AI, because we also wanted to test the AI from this content. So there's not anything we could bring to this video to criticize, or at least not anything relevant. Maybe we will make some sort of critics during the video, but when we get there I will address that. I'm not remembering right now what it is, and as we always do at OnWheelsTV, the content is the voice of this video is recorded with no text, so I'm just talking about things as I remember, although I have some ideas that I want to address. But anyway, this is the way we work. Hope you enjoy. We drove the car on track with the soft tire, which is the one you are watching in the first part of this video. The TV camera footage and this footage specific from the cockpit is with the soft tire, and then we moved to the super soft and ultra soft, and the race we did with the ultra soft also. Anyway, when we wanted to use specifically this cockpit image, we wanted to show you the car's management of the MGU power unit. However, in the replay, that blue bar there on the dashboard of the wheel is or on the HUD of the wheel is always in the same position, so it doesn't show us the real power management that is being made by the power management being made of the engine. And so you will see live footage from us in the sim driving and recording at the same time exactly when we drive the super soft and the ultra soft tire, because we addressed that in this review video and we wanted to show you that it made no sense to be talking about the management when the image is constant. So this would be a really good power management, and but not a credible one. So we had to change then. Hope you also understand that. We use the replays because the replays allow us to edit the video with more quality, but in specific cases we have to use the live footage from the cockpit. And in the future, when we update our graphics card, we will be doing, for instance, a lot more live videos, maybe also when using that to start our Twitch approach, but that's a different matter. Anyway, with the soft tire, we just wanted to go on track and be as fast as we could. We were using the MGU power unit on some laps, but we avoided always to use DRS because we were alone. Makes no sense. No one uses DRS alone on track, at least in real life. And we also did not use ever curves. But all that is available in this car because this is a very good simulation of this specific racing car, and of course it had to have that. And it is very well managed, although, and I now remember what is the critics, although it could be more intuitive in terms of the controls, but we will address that when we get there. So with this soft tire we lapped consistently in 27, but sometimes we went to 28. In the right side of the screen there on the dashboard you can see our lap times, but anyway, we were performant with this tire. I don't know, we lapped as fast as we could with the practice we had, and according and considering also our equipment, but of course we were not the fastest drivers in the world. Anyway, we did our best, and I think we can provide you in this video a good idea of how this car performs. The car feels really great to drive. It is very direct. We didn't use almost any traction control. We wanted to show you when this car is tricky or difficult to handle. We used any other technical capabilities of the car, as I mentioned, MGU, KERS, ERS, but we did not use any sort of help, and the traction control is really low, and sometimes well, it would have helped us to have a little bit more, as you will see in the video. Anyway, great car to drive, around 1.5 seconds faster than the 2018 car. I know that when this car, the real regulations for this car had into account that they wanted to lower the lap times, maybe the speed, but then there's the engineers that are so really good in what they do, is so talented, and as in real life, here the car is also faster than last year's car, more tricky to handle, more difficult to drive, more rough, more violent, more demanding, but faster. And all that you can have here in this simulation, because, well, we couldn't bring the 2018 car to this video, although we thought about it, but the video is already so long, it was best not to do that, because otherwise this would be a movie, not a video. Yeah. But anyway, it is much easier to drive the 2018 car. This car it is also fun to drive, really fun, and that also happens with the 2017 car. But this car is much more demanding. It's much less forgiving. Yeah, there I struggled. I just kept my foot down and tried to be as fast as I could. Avoided hitting the wall hard there, because when you clip those curbs there, The car gets really nervous, but I was just flat out and hoped for the best. Anyway, the car is a hell of a drive. As all the cars I've driven from these guys, the car is a hell of a drive, and I'm not a Formula. I'm not a Formula Hybrid in real life fan, but I gotta admit that I got stuck with this on track for hours because it really is a challenge to drive this fast. It is a challenge to your senses, and for those of us, me included, that enjoy top speed, well, this is fabulous. But then there's the sound. Then there's the sound of the tires working on track, and all this reflects how good is this simulation. This is great. These guys, I've been hearing that they are planning on also delivering content for our Factor 2, where there are already some really good guys there, modders. Their name has 3 letters, and when these guys get to our Factor 2, well, with these guys and those guys there, we are going to have some great content, single-seater content, maybe other content too, because these guys don't do only single-seater content. And this is, yeah, when you try to remove all their dynamics, MGU on hot lap program, yeah, you get it gets tricky. It gets tricky. So now we get to the other part, where I wanted to show you live how technical this is in terms of setup. As in any other car, you can adjust gears, tires, fuel, electronics, aerodynamics, but then we have several suspension adjustments very specific for this car. You can adjust visuals, you can adjust pit stop strategy, you can adjust the compound, of course, as in any other car, but this is just to show you that you have some extra adjustments compared to other cars. Other cars without being in the single seaters also, but this is very specific. You have a lot to work to be able to perform on a top level with this car, because you have several different adjustments. You will need to test a lot, you will need to work a lot, but this is proof of how thorough are the releases from Race Sim Studio, and how thorough is the Race Sim Studio working to provide you with credible content. So congratulations to them also in this matter. So now we go on track. Now we go on track live. So this was recorded when we were testing, not just creating footage to then use the replay for a video. So now we go on track, and there you can see already it wasn't showing that green info on the dashboard. That info has to do with temperatures, yeah, and the blue is the one from the MGU power unit. And as you can see, it's going to, as you are going to be able to see, it's going to decrease. Yeah, we are already using it, and it's already decreasing. And this is highly relevant, because in this MGU power unit you have several options. You can opt to use the program for hot lapping to overtake. You can also use for low use or high use. You can also use for charging. Anyway, if you choose, for instance, and you will be able to see that in the video, if we use, for instance, there you can see already it is decreasing. If you choose, for instance, the hot lap program, I doubt you can use it throughout an entire lap. I really doubt, because I used it starting the lap several times, and the way it was losing power and maybe calculating, I think it would not be available to complete a full lap. But as you can see now, I'm charging. I'm opting to charge now. That happens, in case you are not familiar with the Assetto Corsa, that image of the engine red, that happens when you exceed the RPM. So now it is already charged. As soon as you cross the finish line, it is completely charged. So you can use it. At the moment it is completely charged, or you can choose, and that's what I did after. I realizing it would not be available for an entire lap in the hot lap program, I started using it in the hot lap program in specific parts of the track, which I believe it's what real drivers use. I don't know, I'm not experienced in this subject, but I chose to use it in the fastest sections to gain. Also because it's less risky to use it if you don't use it in turns, because it lowers dramatically the aerodynamic advantages or defenses. The car gets lower aerodynamics to be as fast as possible, and it increases the risks of losing control of the car in turns, specifically in high-speed corners when you need aerodynamics. Sometimes you will see some glitching there in the screen. I'm doing this live, as I mentioned, and or at least I recorded live, and I did not yet replace my graphics card. It's going to happen in the next weeks to a very good deal, I think. Hopefully it goes well. So with the soft tire, I was, unfortunately, and that's my fault, I'm the one to blame, not the mod. I was not consistent because I was making mistakes every time I tried a hot lap with the MGU in the hot lap program. Several times I made small mistakes, several times I lost control of the car, sometimes without exiting, without crashing, I mean. But yeah, but now I want to address this specific issue. I selected two buttons in my wheel. My Fanatic wheel, not the Precision Sim Engineering wheel there, the GPX steering wheel you see there, because it's a partnership between Race Sim Studio and Precision Sim Engineering. This wheel exists. The wheel you are watching inside the car exists in real life. It's really expensive, but this is not criticism. Maybe it's really expensive because it uses high-tech and expensive equipment. I don't know, but it is really expensive. But Ferraris are also expensive, and if you don't want to spend that much money, you can always buy a Fiat, right, or an Alfa Romeo, I think. Anyway, what I wanted to address is I selected one specific button in my wheel to choose the MGU hot lap option, and also to use the charging option. Anyway, I realized that with both buttons I could use all options in the MGU program, and that is not very intuitive, because if you want to go for the hot lap to the charging, you have to go through and click several times in the buttons. You have to go through all the programs available. I don't know if I made a mistake, but I tried this several times and it happened all the time. I tried to select and configure several times the buttons. Yeah, mistake there. So this was a lap time I could not perform on the level I hoped for in terms of lap time, because mistake. And as you can see, we are not yet, we are maybe halfway through the track at this moment, but as you can see from the bar, in the MGU power unit, no way this is going to stick for an entire lap. So the option is, if you want to have some help in the hot lap, the option is you use it in specific parts of the track where you can gain from it, and this is what people do normally. So this was my first contact with this option, and yeah, as you can see, it's dying. Maybe it is enough for the lap. I just don't think so, but maybe it is. Maybe it is. Anyway, since I made that mistake, I was not able to gain from this option. So it is already charged now, and we also used KERS. I don't think we used KERS with this tire. We are still in the super soft tire. But anyway, the content is really good. The car drives fantastically. It is demanding. Of course, the less traction control you use, the more demanding it is. But the car is demanding. It is a hell of a drive. It is very immersive. The brakes work really well. I didn't notice a specific or a determined an aggressive. Sorry, I'm trying to find the word. Sometimes it happens. This is not my native language. So I was not able to determine that the wear of the tires was aggressive. but that may be also something you can set up in the sim. Um, yeah, mistake another there. So second attempt and second mistake when trying to use the MGU power unit with the OTLAP program. So this is a pretty good opportunity, and we are already exiting the pits with the ultra soft tire. So this is the softer of all the compounds available in this content, and with this we were a little bit more performant. There we are again, and as you could see, and this happens more times during this footage because this is also live footage. As you can see on the top of the screen there, in the middle of the halo, of the black part of the halo, you will see that every time I'm going from the hot lap program to charge the MGU power unit, I have to go through all the other programs, because although I selected one specific button just for hot lap and one specific button just for charging and one specific button also for all the other choices, I have to go through, no matter the button I use, I have to go through all the options to get to the ones I want. This is something that maybe they could adjust in case I'm doing something wrong, but if I am, I have no clue what it is. Anyway, great to drive this car in this track. Monza is a great track for speed. This car is a great car for speed, and this is the perfect mix in my opinion. I love Monza. I love all the Italian tracks anyway, but this one is so special. It does really suit my passion for speed and my love for driving. So, Racing Studio, congratulations! This is an awesome release. The cars are fabulous to drive. I'm just using the official skins in the content. I don't want any trouble with nobody from Real Racing. But anyway, if you go to the to websites such as, and I don't mind doing this advertisement because this website is from guys that really, like me, love sim racing. If you go, for instance, to the race department website, you'll find a lot of skins there from the real cars from 2019. I'm going to get some of them for myself because some are really good, but I'm just not going to use any of those, and that's why I didn't download them before making this video, because I just wanted to use the official skins. That is also a sign of respect shown to the guys from Race Sim Studio, because they had so much work to provide the content with several skins, but fictional skins, and that's what I'm doing in this video also. The video will be published on YouTube, the English version. The Portuguese version is going to be published on Facebook, although I'm considering also publishing this English version on Facebook. I will decide that later. To those of you that follow OnWheelsTV on YouTube, sometimes we have been releasing just videos on Facebook because there's something weird happening with YouTube, as you probably know. And for instance, iRacing videos we just publish now on Facebook, never on YouTube. Also the English version videos. Sorry to make this comment in this review, but it sounded appropriate for what I was addressing. The video is also, you can find a specific post at onwheelstv.com with this content, with written content in Portuguese and photos. If you want to, you can download the photos. Anyway, the link for that OnWheelsTV is both in the YouTube and in the Facebook video. Yeah, always struggling with the car. You have to be really thorough, not touching the curbs, those tall curbs, with this car, because the car reacts really bad to that. It doesn't like that. It just likes great tarmac, great surfaces, so great tracks. It doesn't enjoy at all using curbs, so don't use it. It will make you spin and worse. So just don't use it. Yeah. And so our lap there was 125 something. I think you had time to see. If you don't, just rewind a little bit the video to see the lap time there. It was our best lap, and we could improve a lot, yeah. But now we get to the final part of this video, which is a race against AI. I'm in the middle of the pack there. I'm going to start immediately losing pace, because this is that moment when you realize that after all you were not fast enough on track. Yeah, I admit that. I have no issues admitting that. I'm a newbie in terms of Formula Hybrid / real name in real life content. Anyway, I did my best, and first and most of all, had a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I really enjoyed this content. Race Sim Studios, you guys are awesome. Yeah. So losing pace, but still in the middle of the pack. But I didn't perform on the level that I was performing. I think racing alone on track, and made a lot of mistakes during these several laps. Some of them I made them on purpose because I wanted to see how the AI was reacting. So I adjusted the AI for 100%, and aggressive, not overly aggressive, but aggressive enough to make stupid things. And I have to say, guys, that I didn't see them making a lot of stupid things. I had an issue, a technical issue, I don't know why, but during the race, only in my last lap, that you won't be seeing in the video, only in my last lap, I was able to activate DRS in the DRS zones. So I was always clipping my DRS button on the wheel, but for some reason I don't know, it never worked. That red arrow there means that there's someone trying to overtake you. I didn't make it easy here. I defended my line. He didn't force me out of the track, and this is the good thing. That the AI is trying to overtake, but they will make you realize when you try to shut the door that they are already there, but they just don't try to force you out of the track. So you can have a lot of fun racing with this AI in this content. I'm not an AI guy, so I can practice with AI for a specific series or championship I'm trying to race and I'm trying to prepare for, but normally I like to race against real people. So this AI guy is going to overtake me here, and now I'm going to try and defend in the straight line. I'm going to try to use DRS. I'm immediately clipping my DRS button, but I don't see anything happen. Anyway, I'm in the slipstream. Most of the time they are this guy here trying to overtake me was not using DRS, so he's also taking advantage of drag. But anyway, I was not almost never able or capable of using DRS. I don't know why, but this is not specifically about the mod. I believe this is something of an issue with my wheel or something. I don't know. Anyway, I was able to defend. I made some mistakes, but I was able to do some really good overtaking. With more time and with more practice against AI and more time trying to develop my consistency lap after lap in race conditions, I believe I could perform better. Anyway, in this video I made a lot of mistakes, but as I mentioned, some were in purpose because I wanted to see if the AI was good. And I would say that in voting from 1 to 10, I would rate this AI 8.5 because it's really good. I made some mistakes also with the shifting. Sometimes I shifted and then I removed one gear. I was not at all at my best in this race, and I admit that. But anyway, the content is really good and overwhelmingly good, both for online racing testing, so that you can, this was the most serious of all the mistakes because I went off track limits and I got a penalty, and for now I'm slowing down. I'm thinking that maybe like in iRacing you slow down, but no, here you have to go really to 35 miles per hour, and I wasn't doing that, so I wasn't getting rid of my penalty. And later in the video I had to serve my penalty on track. You won't be seeing that also. This is what I did not like, and that's why the 8.5 in terms of the AI, because these guys just feels like wedding traffic jam, because they just are not trying to overtake me, and it's getting annoying because I'm leaving an open line for them to overtake me, and well, they didn't, and now I go race. Yeah, I did not yet serve my penalty. I served it later, and you don't see that in the video. I did, but I did serve it. Yeah, and I finished the race dead last, of course, with so many mistakes. Well, I couldn't expect any better. But anyway, this provides you with, or allows me to provide you with an insight on the level of the AI, and it's good. It's good. With the exception of that reaction there, they were extra careful for me, I think. But the AI is good, and you can have some very good racing with this content. Racing also and only against AI. So briefly, final thoughts. Great content. You should get this. It's one of the best contents out there for Assetto Corsa, the Formula Hybrid 2019 from Race Sim Studio. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and hope to see you soon. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.